3 days ago I turned 18. My parents abruptly canceled my birthday celebration because my older sister, Amanda, threw a fit. Honestly, I was relieved when I first thought she wouldn't be around. She had plans to fly to Los Angeles for some big influencer gathering she'd been obsessing over for months. But fate intervened. A massive thunderstorm grounded flights across the Southwest, leaving her stuck in Phoenix. Her trip was postponed and she became unbearable, sulking and snapping at everyone. My parents, terrified of upsetting their favorite child, tiptoed around her as usual. Amanda has always been the golden one. My parents bend over backward to keep her happy. So when she stormed into the kitchen on the morning of my birthday and demanded, "If I'm miserable, she doesn't get to celebrate either," they didn't even hesitate. They immediately texted friends, family, everyone, to call off the event. The worst part, they didn't tell me. All day, I buzzed with excitement helping Mom set up decorations we'd bought from Target. I strung lights and balloons across the backyard and even baked chocolate chip cookies using Grandma Rose's recipe. The desert sunset painted everything in golden light, and for a moment, it felt magical. But as the evening rolled on, my phone stayed silent. By 7 p.m. no one had arrived. By 8 o'clock I was confused. By 9 o'clock panic set in. I found my parents lounging in the living room watching Netflix as if it were just another night. "Where is everyone? Did something happen?" I asked. That's when they told me. They had canceled my 18th birthday party. All because Amanda was upset about her ruined trip. The rage that surged through me was indescribable. This wasn't just about a party. It was 18 years of being sidelined, always playing second fiddle to Amanda's demands. I exploded. This is my day, my 18th. My step into adulthood. How could you do this to me? Mom wrung her hands nervously. You don't understand. Amanda's devastated about her trip. It didn't feel right to throw a party while she's so fragile. Fragile. I shot back. She's 23. I'm the one turning 18. And you scrapped my party for her meltdown. Dad tried to silence me. Lower your voice. You'll wake Amanda. She's finally napping. That broke me. Even as they ruined my birthday, their only concern was protecting Amanda's comfort. Later, I discovered they had told everyone I was sick with a terrible migraine and asked them not to contact me. My friends thought they were giving me space to recover. The manipulation was staggering. Amanda eventually sauntered downstairs in silk pajamas, well-rested and smug. "What's all this noise?" she asked, feigning innocence. When I called her out, she had the audacity to lecture me. "I'm going through something really hard right now," she said, tossing her highlighted hair. "If you can't see how cruel it is to party while I'm struggling, you're more selfish than I thought." That was it. I snapped. I lunged at her, grabbed her perfect hair, and we ended up in a full-on brawl in the middle of the living room. Our parents scrambled to pull us apart. And then the doorbell rang. Dad opened it to reveal Grandpa William, towering and commanding as ever in crisp khakis and a polo shirt. The family patriarch. Respected, feared. The room froze. "What the hell is going on here?" he demanded. Normally I stayed quiet about the favoritism. But something in me broke. I spilled everything, years of neglect, always being second to Amanda, never allowed to shine, treated like I didn't matter. Grandpa's face hardened. "Is this true?" he barked at my parents. Before they could respond, he pressed on. "Because if it is, you've been lying to me for years." Then came the revelation. For the past 3 years, Grandpa had been sending them money every month to keep their failing accounting firm afloat. Even my birthday party, the one they canceled, had been fully funded by him. "I supported this family because I believed you were raising both girls with fairness and love," he said coldly. Clearly, I was mistaken. Amanda, in her usual arrogance, tried to argue. She whined about her canceled LA trip and claimed she couldn't possibly handle a party while in such pain. Grandpa stared at her like she'd lost her mind. "You think the world spins around you? You think your tantrum trumps your sister's 18th birthday?" Then he dropped the bombshell. "I'm done supporting this family. You're on your own now. Aviana, pack your bags, you're coming with me." Chaos erupted. My parents didn't even look at me. They only begged Grandpa not to cut them off. They weren't afraid of losing me. They were afraid of losing his money. That was all the proof I needed. I packed my essentials: clothes, laptop, books, the few pieces of jewelry that were truly mine. As the argument downstairs grew desperate, I walked out with Grandpa. "I should have done this sooner," he muttered as we drove away. I knew something was off, but I hoped it would get better. His home in Paradise Valley was a haven, calm, safe, and filled with love. That night over dinner he told me, "You can stay here as long as you need. Through summer, through college, whatever you want." For the first time in years I felt like someone truly cared. But my parents weren't done. My phone started blowing up almost immediately. Not because they missed me, but because they wanted me to convince Grandpa to restore their financial lifeline. And that's when I finally understood. I wasn't just the forgotten child. I had been the scapegoat, the sacrifice, the one they thought would never fight back. But I'm 18 now. And I'm done being invisible. Their desperation grew clearer every day. Texts, voicemails, emails. They tried everything. Their apologies rang hollow, carefully crafted to manipulate me back so they could mend things with Grandpa. "We know we messed up," Mom wrote. "We thought you were stronger, more independent than Amanda, so we gave her more attention because she needed it. We're sorry we took your strength for granted." The excuses infuriated me. Amanda was 5 years older. She should have been the one mature enough to share their attention. Instead, my parents twisted their favoritism into a backhanded compliment about my resilience. After a week of ignoring their increasingly frantic messages, I finally replied, telling Dad exactly what I thought of their fake apologies and that I knew they only wanted me back for Grandpa's money. That's when they made a fatal mistake. "We'll do anything to fix this," Dad texted. "Just tell us what it would take for you to come home and talk to your grandfather about giving us another chance." So I tested them. "I'll consider coming back if Amanda moves out for good. She's 23, has a job, and should have her own place by now. If you choose her over Grandpa's support, that'll tell me everything I need to know." I had no intention of returning no matter what they decided. I just wanted to see if they'd ever pick me over their golden child. Their silence spoke volumes. Days passed with no reply. Meanwhile, life with Grandpa William was everything I had been missing. He listened to me, asked about my passions, helped me explore colleges and scholarships. We cooked together, watched classic movies, and talked about my future. One evening, sitting on his patio overlooking Camelback Mountain, he said, "I'm proud of how you stood up for yourself. That took guts." Then he revealed truths my parents had hidden. After losing her parents in a car accident while pregnant with me, my mom had spiraled into depression. She blamed me for their deaths, convinced my existence had brought bad luck. "They planned to give you up for adoption," Grandpa admitted. "Your grandmother and I stepped in to keep you with the family. But I don't think they ever fully accepted that you were meant to be here." The revelation cut deep, but it was freeing. I wasn't the problem. I never had been. But my peace didn't last. 2 weeks after my ultimatum, I was walking home from Chaparral High with my friend Tyler, the linebacker who'd become my unofficial protector after I confided in him. As we neared the parking lot, I spotted Amanda leaning against her silver Honda Civic. My stomach knotted. "Tyler," I whispered, "can you walk me home? I've got a bad feeling." He nodded without hesitation. Amanda followed us for blocks, trailing 20 feet behind like a shadow. Finally I spun around. "What do you want, Amanda?" She sneered at Tyler. "I need to talk to you alone. Without your bodyguard." "Tough luck," I shot back. "I'm not talking to you at all." She launched into a speech about how my insane condition was tearing the family apart. "You actually think Mom and Dad will kick me out just to appease your jealousy? That's unhinged, Aviana." I smiled calmly. "If I can't be happy, neither can you. Sound familiar? That's the logic you used to cancel my birthday." I turned and walked away with Tyler. That's when Amanda lost it. She screamed, calling me selfish and vicious. When I flipped her off without looking back, she snapped, tackling me to the sidewalk. Tyler reacted instantly, yanking her off me like she weighed nothing. As he held her thrashing form at arm's length, I walked up, slapped her hard across the face and said, "Try that again and I'll call the police. And with everything you've done, I'm sure Mom and Dad would love to deal with assault charges." She kept shouting, but I walked away. That slap ended it. When I told Grandpa later, he wanted to call the cops immediately, but I convinced him not to. Amanda had just learned her lesson, and she was already on thin ice with our parents. I also told him about my ultimatum. Instead of being upset, he laughed. "Brilliantly strategic," he said. "Let them sweat. Let's see if they finally show where their loyalties lie." 2 days later we got our answer. The message came Thursday morning while I ate breakfast with Grandpa. It was short, sharp, and cruel. We're keeping Amanda with us. You've shown you're not the kind of person we want around her. You've always been jealous and spiteful. We only wanted you back for your grandfather's money. But your mom's brother is stepping in as a business partner, so we don't need it anymore. You're not welcome in our family. I showed Grandpa. He simply shook his head. Well, that's that. Now you know where you stand. Surprisingly, their rejection didn't sting. I had always known they only wanted me for the money. Their honesty was almost refreshing. But when I didn't reply, they sent one last desperate message. We're blocking you now because you're cruel and ungrateful. After all we did, feeding you, clothing you, sending you to school, you dare act like we're bad parents? You should be grateful for the bare minimum we gave you. Before they could block me, I blocked them first. I was done with their games. And life blossomed. I got into Arizona State University with a partial scholarship. Grandpa covered the rest. Tyler and I officially started dating and went to prom together. Word spread through the family about why Grandpa cut my parents off, and most of Dad's relatives stopped speaking to them. Their Scottsdale social circle shrank and they became isolated. Amanda eventually moved out to an apartment in Tempe after life with our downsized, bitter parents became unbearable. Meanwhile, I thrived. I started studying psychology at Northern Arizona University. Tyler and I managed the distance, seeing each other on weekends. I made amazing friends. For the first time in my life, I felt like me, not someone's lesser sister, not an unwanted burden. Grandpa and I grew closer than ever. He became the parent I always needed, steady, supportive, proud of me. Sometimes, I wonder what might have happened if my parents had truly apologized after my birthday. If they had changed instead of manipulating. But then I remind myself, I'm free now. I'm valued. I'm living the life I deserve. And I've never been happier.